Hey guys, it's Cal here again from KR Sabers. This is my latest build that I finished. I finished this one today. It is a SolosHold Luke Return of the Jedi V2. Little background to this project. Obviously, everyone was watching sort of Celebration last year in Anaheim, and some of you may have seen that new pictures were released of the V2 saber that was made as the prop for the Return of the Jedi. You would have seen that Luke had a hero prop and he had a V2, which was the sort of more damaged version of the hilt. At Celebration last year, they released some very high resolution, detailed pictures of the saber, and you can imagine how various different sabersmiths got to work, one of which was SolosHold. He did team up with a few other people within the community. You've got Scott Juarez of Crucible Custom Props. He teamed up with Obi-Shane of Obi-Shane Customs, and also with Cedric from GOTH 3 Designs, who you may have recognised me mentioning in previous videos. Cedric or GOTH 3 Designs took care of the 3D chassis. SolosHold and Obi-Shane Customs worked together as a pair, and SolosHold will take care of sort of the design and the manufacture of the hilts. I believe so far Obi-Shane helps with installs and also help maintaining the run and keeping the run on track. And then you've got Scott Juarez as well, who he knows his stuff about screen accurate props, and he's a professional photographer, so he was able to decode a lot of the pictures that were there in terms of dimensions, what needs to be like what. So he's got a keen eye for detail. I'll put links to all their relevant information so you can see the sort of work that they've done. I'll put that in the description, and I'll put the original run thread, because I believe the run is all sold out. If it's not, you'll have SolosHold email in the description so you can contact him to get one. But yeah, it's all machined aluminium. It comes apart in two, so you've got the lower half of the hilt and the upper half. It comes with two different like emitter mounts. You've got the screen accurate one here, and it also comes with a blade holder version, which you can see here. I'll just put that down for now. And essentially you can just unscrew this, and you've got your LED in there, and try Cree green, white. And whenever you want to have it on display, you put the display one on. If you want to have it with a 7/8 inch blade in, you can just pop that one on instead. It's got a genuine Graflex clamp. This is a vintage Graflex clamp. It was in pretty bad nick, so I had it re-chromed and satin chromed again, with a little bit of weathering here and there just to show where it might age. You've got the Slothfurnace clamp card. As far as I know, he makes the most accurate clamp cards that I can think of. And just you've got the D-ring. Regarding the finish of the hilt, in case any of you start wondering why whenever you get one of these, or why it didn't come like this, SolosHold ships them unfinished, so they won't have the weathering on it that you can see here. That has to be done by the user, although you can contact people, authorized installers, within the thread link that I'll put in the description to help do that for you. But thankfully, RPF member Trooper Trent, who now is part of the IRA forums, he designed this fantastic stencil. So he looked at all of the images from the films and decoded all of the weathering marks and laid it in like a 2D pattern, and then made a stencil. Now you're probably thinking, if there's a stencil out there, it's really easy to apply. It's just a simple stencil, but it is quite tricky. He does have instructions on how to do it. So if you do have one of these sabers already and you've got one of the stencils, my best advice is just take your time, follow the steps step by step, because it's really easy to mess up. But when you get it done, if you just take your time, it comes out perfectly. You can see how good the weathering is, and when you look at the screenshot images, you'll see how close it is. So big thanks to Trooper Trent, and they were like $15, so they're so cheap, and they help give life to your Return of the Jedi V2 saber. So yeah, big thanks to him. You can find him on IRA. I'll put a link to his stencil as well. So I've got to put quite a lot of links, because it's a big project this was, because it's by far probably the most accurate V2 out there that you can find. There won't be another one as far as I can tell being made. I don't know anyone else who's doing any runs. It's just this one. Now the main event would be the chassis in this thing. Cedric from GOTH 3 Designs designed this amazing chassis. So it is 3D printed, but it has 3D printed metal parts as well. So Rio or GOTH 3 Designs did a few different chassis systems. One that's for just like a basic install, and then one for quite an immense install. Now, that type of install is not for the faint-hearted. It's not an easy install just because it's 3D printed and the chassis parts are there. It is tricky. I kind of went whole hog on here because I know some people might do the chassis without the brass rods or without the aluminium tubing, but I think I did everything that you can do for the chassis as per Rick's instructions, because on his website he does have a little DIY tutorial on putting the chassis together. So I did that, and I'll show you it now. So essentially you just unscrew the bottom here, and you've got a Crystal Focus 7.5 premium 28mm speaker. You've got a recharge port and rice port, and you've got a 18340 7.4 volt battery, and then you've got two switches here. So you've got the activate aux, and you've got activation as well. So really responsive. Now the crystal chamber is just hidden in there. Essentially the chassis slides out when you want to look at it. Now I soldered some SMD LEDs. I did green and UV on here, and pretty tricky. They're 603 LEDs, so they're tiny, but managed to get it done. And whenever you want to see the crystal chamber, you essentially just pull the base out like that, and there you have it. You've got this gorgeous 3D printed crystal chamber. So this is metal. It's not painted. It's not cast. It's not metallized. Well, it is cast. Sorry, what am I talking about? It is cast metal. So they print it in 3D first, and then they make a cast out of it, and they put it in bronze or steel, or I don't really remember which ones I ordered. I just chose whichever ones looked cool. So I think one's gold or brass, and one's sort of like matte steel. But this thing is just amazing when you light it up. So what I'll do is I'll turn off the lights a little bit. Let's have a look here. Turn off the lights so you can sort of see what happens.
This part is over.
But you've got the crystal chamber there, and you've got the SMD LEDs going. You can see the UV ones. In fact, I might turn this on again because it's getting a bit grainy, the picture, because you can still see the light. So you've got this amazing crystal chamber, which you can see. It's a real quartz crystal in there. I did the aluminium tubing over the 440 rods. The brass rods in the bottom there. The other the other aluminium rods there. You've got the brass rods at the top. So you can see the accent LEDs just going in there in sequence, and then you've got all of the LEDs sort of going crazy now. So that accent LED sequencer will go. You can just see them sort of through there, the UV, and you've got the green. It's just absolutely gorgeous. This is definitely an amazing saber. And then when you want to sort of use it again, you just slide the chassis back in, and it's a normal saber. And you can put and it helps it resonate the sound. So you got and you can see that also the light shines through here, that crystal chamber underneath. So it's a pretty amazing chamber. I'm still so impressed when I look at it, just the way it's been designed. So definitely take your time if you're doing an install and have this chamber, because it is very, very tricky. You need some 440 rods, you need some brass tubing, you need some aluminium tubing, and definitely a steady hand, some 440 locking nuts as well. But like I said, if you take your time, it comes out very well. And yeah, so what I'll do is I'll pop a blade in and show you how bright it is, because it is a Crystal Focus 7.5 with a 7.4 volt power source. It is very, very bright. So I'll get a 7/8 in blade there. You may notice that it doesn't have a blade retention screw because it's not a dueling saber for me. It's more due to the chassis. Even though you probably can fire with it, it'd be fine. But I didn't want to ruin the look by putting in a blade retention screw. So it comes with an O-ring for compression for the blade. But my blade, I think, is just a little bit thinner than the ones that they used or showed. I think the ones that Obi-Shane makes. So it's a little bit loose, but I'll show you the blade anyway, and you'll see how bright it is. So I've just got the saber here, and I'll just demonstrate how to change the emitter faces. So you just unscrew this, and then you get a little shim which goes in there, and then you pop your O-ring just on top. I'll just get that nicely. Oop. So there is a different way to do it if you have the right blade by Obi-Shane in there, but because mine's just thin enough, I can just slide it in. The O-ring's for the compression, but just slide the blade in there and turn it on. Or flash on clash. White flash on clash. You got. Let's show you a full length of the blade. Something like that. So you can see how bright it is. If I just focus away from the blade, see the brightness there. I'll just change the sound fonts.
Sound bank selection.
So these are just the stock crystal focus fonts. Make this better. So I didn't want the blade to fly out. You can hear the swing sounds there. Really responsive, the crystal focus. It's got dual sensors. You've got the flash on clash. And then once again, if you want to expose the crystal chamber, just unscrew.
Sound bank selection.
We'll just show the chamber again. You just want to pull it out slowly. There we go. And then just slide it back in, nice and gently. And power down. I'll just screw that back on. Put the clamp back on. And that's it. And then when you're done, when you want to put it in display mode, just take everything out, slide the new emitter face back on, and you're good to go with a display piece. And that's the blade demo. So yeah guys, that is my Return of the Jedi V2 saber by SolosHold, Crucible Custom Props, Obi-Shane Customs and GOTH 3 designs. Had a lot of fun installing this, definitely a challenge. And yeah, if you like my videos, go ahead and subscribe, and you can look at all the videos that I post from in the future. I do post quite often. And if you've got a saber like this and maybe need some help, don't hesitate to shoot me an email or something. I'll happily offer some advice. I'm a bit busy at the moment, but I'll get back to you as soon as I can. And yeah, like I said, really happy with how it came out. Definitely a fun little project, and I hope Marius likes it, because it should be going to him all the way in Norway. So thanks again for watching guys, and see you next time.